Hi, my name is Leah Montoya, and I'll be doing a video analysis on the character Ray from the Three Generations. Three Generations is directed by Gabby Dellal and is written by Nicole Beckwith and Gabby Dellal. Three Generations is a movie that is around this character named Ray and about their transition from being female to male. We get to see the three-generational view on how they feel about that. One being the Ray himself, the mother Maggie, and the grandmother Dolly, who is in a lesbian in a relationship with Honey, which is their they're not married, but that's their partner. So in this movie, we get to see, we see that Ray was originally born as a female named Ramona, and we see how the mother and the grandmother are dealing with his transition from female to male. In the beginning of the movie, we see that they are in a doctor's office talking to a doctor about using hormonal therapy to try to get Ray transitioned to a male. The hormonal therapy that they'd be using is testosterone because Ray is becoming a man, so they need more testosterone in their body. So the doctor says that the testosterone will be helping with the periods as well as but it won't help with the breast area. So Ray's excited because he doesn't like having periods because, as the doctor said, young men don't like having periods. They struggle with that. And so we see that through this, the conflict in the movie is that Ray is underaged. He's an adolescent going to high school. And we see that he has to get signatures because he's underage. He has to get signatures from both his father and mother. Well, the father in this movie is pretty much non-existent. So he's been non-existent for most of Ray's life. So they're trying to figure out a way on how to not get the father's signature. Well, in the movie, that's where the conflict is, so I won't spoil too much, but they end up having to get the father, and but he doesn't want to make that choice. So I'll let you guys watch the movie and see how that all plays out. So the reasons to why I'm saying that Ray is a transgender adolescent, and that he has gender dysphoria. The main thing that we see when there's a part in the movie where he's in the bathroom and he's taking off his clothes, that you see that he actually has binded his chest. So with this, he uses the first thing that we see that he binds his chest with is ace bandages. Now, ace bandages are a very common way for transgender males to bind their chest because they want to have a flat chest. So this has been seen as a very unhealthy way to bind your chest because it squishes on your ribs and can cause deformity with your ribs. And the second way that we see that he doesn't bind it, but he actually has a binder, which was white. And so those are the two ways that we see that he has problems with his chest. There's also in the scene where he takes off the ace bandage, he just looks in the mirror and he looks sad that that's his body and that's what he has to live with. He doesn't feel like it's his own body. Another way that we see that he has gender dysphoria is by the school he goes to. So in the school, he was originally went there as Ramona, which is his dead name. So we see him people that he's interacting with, they will still call him Ray, but end up misgendering him. For example, the gal that he likes in the movie comes up to him and calls him Ray, but says something about him being a girl. So we see that although they are using the proper name, they're not using the proper pronouns, and they keep misgendering him. In the movie, we see that the person that he likes is female, so he's going to be a straight male. And one thing that the grandmother doesn't understand about this is that that she says that, well, he says she. So if she likes boys, if she likes girls, then why isn't she just a lesbian? And the mother says, well, because she's not a she, she's a he. And the grandmother has a very hard time grasping that Ray is actually a male and not a female. Throughout the movie, you see her saying granddaughter, that's my gal, different very feminine adjectives for female, or saying straight up female things about Ray, which can cause Ray to become upset with the grandmother. So when we also see within the school that Ray is not comfortable using the bathrooms. We see that he tells his friend, hey, I'm going to be late to math. Can you tell the teacher? And so in that scene, you see him pass by the bathrooms, male and female. They don't have a non-binary bathroom. And so instead of using those bathrooms, he goes to a nearby restaurant, which has just a general toilet for both males and females, and then he's waiting to go to the bathroom there. I think because he's been associated as both female and male in this school, that he is not comfortable using the bathrooms there. So, because maybe someone will see him as like, hey, you're using the wrong bathroom, which could be very problematic and a stressor for a lot of transgender teens, because they want to be seen as who they feel in the inside, but their outside, who they're presenting as, may not be seen correctly. Another reason why we see Ray being transgender and have gender dysphoria is by having him dress as he's male presenting. So he wears a lot of male clothes. His mother talks about a time in which he was little, so he was being called Ramona at the time, when being a female. And we see that she said that the mother gave him a dress to wear, and at that time she said, I don't want to wear the dress. I don't want to put it on. And the mother said, we're not leaving until you put on the dress. Well, what Ray did was ended up cutting the dress to pieces so that they wouldn't have to wear it. So the mom kind of knew around that time that maybe something was up. One thing, throughout the movie, we see that Ray is making like a little documentary about his transition. And we see that within that, he states that he knew he was a boy at the age of 4. To me, when small children say that they are male, or when they're girls and they say, I'm a boy, that's a really good indicator that they have gender dysphoria and that they most likely will be transgender later on. So as the movie progresses, we see that he actually gets into a fight because a guy comes up to him and says, hey, are you a boy or a girl? And kind of starts pushing him around. Ray tries to fight back, but ends up with a black eye. So he actually got video footage and showed his mom what happened. And it was just a really sad scene because even though he presents as a male, people are still confused and not really that good about the transgender community to accept the changes that people are going through. We also see that his love interest sees him as a female. So that is a really sad part for him because he really likes her, but he doesn't see himself going through with actually dating her because he's not comfortable to date someone who's still a person who still sees them as the opposite gender, well, as the same gender as them. We also see within the movie that Ray wants to go to change schools after he started T, because T is testosterone. After he started T, because he wants to be known as a male in that school and only a male. So, that is my analysis of Ray, that he is indeed transgender and has gender dysphoria. And throughout the movie, we get to see how Maggie, the mom, and the grandmother's views on Ray change as they slowly start to accept that. It's really sweet how we see them start to accept Ray as a male and going to be the male inside of the family. Alright, well, that's my video analysis. I hope you watch The Generations. It's a really good movie. I've watched it countless times. It's really good. So, but yeah. Alright, have a good day. Bye.